Duggar News. Jim Bob's struggle to earn for family revealed. He was juggling multiple jobs. Duggar News followers are now watching Jinger Duggar hint at her father's juggling act at the height of their family's fame. She recalled how Jim Bob never really relied on their family show, Counting On, and kept on working hard to make ends meet. The celeb noted that the patriarch had multiple jobs and his life wasn't really easy. But that's not all. Jinger further made some shocking revelations while she was promoting her new book and explained how things were really different from what people saw on the screen. Is this true? What is this all about? What did Jinger reveal? Keep on reading to learn more about this controversy. Duggar News followers eagerly await Jinger's new book, People Pleaser. She has discussed the way several things ended up affecting her childhood and teenage years as she was a people pleaser. However, there are some more shocking confessions that she is making now. As per Jinger, she and her siblings weren't really encouraged to go to college. She believes that it wasn't really her parents' restriction, but more of the Bill Gothard teaching. Hence, everyone knew that they weren't really encouraged to go to a college, and more of an entrepreneur-like route was preferred. Even after all this, Jinger believes that her parents' approach was to make their kids diligent, disciplined, hard workers, provide. Jinger Duggar has talked about the tight budget and how her family wasn't even able to dine out in restaurants. She recently even revealed to the people that her father, Jim Bob, was a hard worker. The Duggar News celeb explained how the latter tried his luck in many jobs, like the car business, the towing business, and even the real estate. Jinger noted that Jim was actually juggling between several jobs and tried his best to do all the things at once. She admitted that their family show came as a blessing, and it provided to them. However, Jim didn't stop working after he got into the reality TV world. He was still trying his luck in real estate and tried to make as much as possible. Jinger now believes that Jim is the one who has taught them what hard work actually is by working hard himself. He explained how her father wanted his kids to have skills and like skills. However, things really changed after the reality TV show entered their lives. Jinger admitted that it was more like a sigh or relief for her family. This is because Jim didn't have to juggle between several jobs to earn a living, and things were way more flexible for them. Jinger added, "I think that, we were very grateful when that came along, and I think it changed a lot." That could be the reason why Jinger felt strange when the show ended. She was dealing with an identity crisis because that's what she knew since the start. However, she now has all the good memories. Jinger Duggar admits her relationship with parents Jim Bob and Michelle is complicated. Jinger Duggar has been open enough about how difficult it was growing up under the Institute in Basic Life Principles, the ultra-conservative religion that Jim Bob and Michelle brought up their oversized family under. And unfortunately, sharing her truth has come with consequences. Like a complicated relationship with her parents, as she shared in a new interview this week. In People Pleaser, breaking free from the burden of imaginary expectations, Jinger wrote about leaving her people-pleasing tendencies behind. And for her, that has included walking away from the IBLP and the teachings of Bill Gothard. Teachings that her parents and some of her siblings still follow. In an interview with Entertainment Tonight, Jinger showed off the new home she shares with husband Jeremy Vulo and their two daughters, Felicity and Evangeline, plus their baby boy on the way. During the conversation, Jinger was asked if her parents also put expectations on her growing up. She said that the system they were living in meant that she and her siblings were expected to keep a perfect smile on their faces to show how happy they were, almost as an advertisement for the IBLP. You feel like you can't have a hard day because you have to keep it all together on the outside, Jinger admitted, adding there was also the added pressure of knowing that people recognized her and her family from their reality series everywhere she went. When Jinger was asked how her relationship with her parents is today, she responded, "It's complicated. I would say there are definitely difficulties, things that we don't see eye to eye on. But as we already know, that hasn't stopped her from spending time with her parents over the holidays. something she said she was so thankful for. "It was such a sweet visit, peaceful, so amazing, and I was very thankful for that, too," she said in the interview. "I love my family more than anything, even though I think almost any family will have places where they disagree on things, but at the end of the day, I have nothing but love for them." Duggar News. Juggling reveals the gender and name of her third child. Hold on to your baby booties, Duggar News followers, because Juggling has finally revealed the name and gender of her third child. After teasing her audience for several months, the celeb has finally revealed whether she and her baby would be wearing pink or blue. But that's not all. This revelation was even a shock for Juggling, as she admitted to almost falling down her chair. Is this true? What did she reveal? Will Juggling have a boy, or will she continue with her girl gang? Keep on reading to learn more about Juggling's third child's gender, as this reveal is as adorable as it gets. Duggar News followers are currently watching Juggling embracing her pregnancy era like no one else. She isn't leaving a single chance to show off her baby bump, and viewers aren't getting enough of her. The celeb is happy and relieved that her pregnancy isn't taking place during the summers, and she doesn't really have to worry about the extra heat at all. Apparently, Juggling has also talked about how she disclosed this news to her kids and husband and the reactions. Jeremy admitted that he was speechless when his wife initially surprised him with her pregnancy. She ended up giving a gift to her beau on their daughter's birthday in an Amazon package, while Jeremy wasn't clearly expecting any of this at all. Duggar News followers have been eagerly waiting to know the gender of Juggling and Jeremy's third child. But now it seems that the wait is finally over, as the couple recently dropped a bombshell on their audience. They had a conversation with ET, and they revealed that it was a baby boy. Yes, you read that right. Juggling and Jeremy will soon have a boy. Juggling admitted that she was really shocked when she learned that she was going to have a baby boy. This is because she is feeling almost the same, and her current pregnancy has a lot of similarities to her other ones. The celeb stated, "I was so shocked, I almost fell off my chair." Hence, Juggling, perhaps somewhere down the line, knew that she would have a girl. She further wondered how a boy would fit into the family, as she has two girls. Juggling admitted that it would be a foreign thing for the family. However, she has made it clear that she isn't revealing the name of her baby boy at all. Juggling explained that there is a lot of judgment if couples reveal their names beforehand. She believes that people initially don't like the name, but when the child is born and the name is revealed, it seems to be the cutest name ever. Hence, Juggling has this motto and theory in her life and is abiding by it. So viewers would now have to wait for her child's birth to know his name. Can you guess the name? Juggling Duggar taught, "Husband will leave if you don't comply." Counting on alum Juggling Duggar Vuolo is back participating in interviews following the release of her new book, People Pleaser. Juggling has been open regarding exposing the harmful teachings of the IBLP. However, Juggling surprised many with the new detail she shared, where she thought her husband would leave her if she didn't comply. Keep reading to see her statements. Juggling recently took to Instagram to share her touchdown in NYC to release her book, People Pleaser. This was the second time Juggling landed in NYC to launch a memoir. In January 2023, the Counting on alum released her first book, Becoming Free Indeed, which features her disentanglement from the questionable teachings of the IBLP. Juggling's new title, People Pleaser, will showcase how she was able to break free from living up to the expectations of others. It will also tell parts of her childhood to early adulthood, where she struggled to identify herself. Juggling Duggar Vuolo recently had an interview where she shared another questionable teaching of the IBLP. According to the Counting on alum, her previous church would tell women to obey their husbands at any cost, or they would leave them. She continued, "I will just say a lot of it started when I was in the teachings of Bill Gothard, because there was so much that was drilled into you through what he said about trying to please your husband, and if you don't, he's going to leave you." Another reason they were told to was if they left the house dirty or didn't make dinner for their husband. She added, "Or you're not joyfully available to him at all times," before saying, it was also focused on, Do this, do this, do this, do this, otherwise, you're not going to be enough for him. During the same interview, Duggar said that she wrote people pleaser as accurately as possible, adding that the stories were very raw. The counting on alum continued. People can take them as they will. In my mind, I was like, okay, I want to be as open and vulnerable as I can be, because that is part of the need that we see. Jim Bob and Michelle Duggar have yet to share their comments on Jinger's book. But sources claim that Jim Bob wasn't a fan of some of his daughter's books. One of them was Jill's Counting the Cost. It talked about his dark secrets, including his alleged lies about the family's income from the reality show. Fans speculate Jill Duggar is pregnant again, and say these photos prove it. This year is going to be a big one for Duggar babies. But could there be another to add to the list? According to a theory cooked up by some fans, Jill Duggar might be getting ready to make an announcement, and they say photos that have recently popped up on Instagram could prove it. Though the Reddit post didn't specify where the screenshot in question had come from, it looks like it was taken during the Duggar family's Christmas celebration. It's pretty blurry, but Jill and Derek can be seen standing together in Jim Bob and Michelle's house. Derek is standing behind his wife, with his hands positioned on her belly. One commenter shared a screenshot of one of Jill's recent Instagram stories, and we can see ultrasound photos hanging on her fridge in the background. I thought I glimpsed some sonograms on her fridge recently, the person wrote. She probably is and waiting to announce. Possibly even waiting until baby has arrived, one person wrote. I'm not sure I would keep going if I were Jill. Physically, she has a hard time being a baby maker, and the stress doesn't seem like it would be worth it when they already have 3 healthy boys. Another Redditor commented, I'm sure it's the case. Some think the ultrasound photos on the fridge could be from one of Jill's previous pregnancies, while others don't believe the way Derek is holding Jill in the first photo is proof of anything. They are really affectionate and all over each other, so I don't think it's that odd, one person wrote. For now, she seems happy with her 3 boys, Israel, Samuel, and Freddie, but who knows what the future holds. We'll just have to wait and see if Jill drops any hints either way. If she's pregnant, there's no doubt she'll fill fans in when she's ready like she's done in the past. Johannah Duggar finally moves out of Jim Bob and Michelle's home. Former Counting On star Johannah Duggar has reportedly left the nest. The 32-year-old has been living at her parents', Jim Bob and Michelle Duggar's home, but sources now claim she's out on her own. Keep reading to get all of the details about this big change in Johannah's life. If you're familiar with the Duggars, you probably know that Johannah's life has puzzled fans for years. Fans are often asking why Johannah isn't in a relationship, why she still lives at home, and more. This is because many of her siblings have gotten married in their early 20s. Meanwhile, at 32, it doesn't look like she's been in a serious relationship. She's been rumored to be with a couple of different people, but nothing has been confirmed yet. Typically in the Duggar family, the adult kids don't move out until they get married. Because Johannah Duggar still appears to be single at 32, fans have been curious about what her future holds. Now, a source claims that Johannah is officially out of her parents' home and on her own. According to the YouTuber Tough Topic, Johannah has allegedly moved out of her parents' house. This alleged news comes from an Arkansas local, an inside family acquaintance. Tough Topic reports, Johannah was waiting until her house was done so she could move in. According to the source, Johannah's alleged new residence is almost 30 minutes away from the big house. Allegedly, Johannah Duggar has been busy working on her house. You may recall seeing her various projects on both Counting On and social media. She has done many home renovation jobs in the past. So it may not surprise you that she has allegedly been putting a lot of time into the new house. Tough Topic says, Johannah has been allegedly gone since April and still getting settled in. Also in the video, Tough Topic notes, word was she's not staying there alone. It's unknown who Johannah Duggar is allegedly living with, but the YouTuber wonders if she might be living with her close friend, Laura Demasi. You can watch the video here or find it below. So are you surprised to see that Johannah Duggar has finally moved out of her parents' home? Do you think she'll post about it herself soon? Juggling Duggar teases new book, release date, details and more. Juggling Duggar not so subtly teased a new book in the works. Its release isn't scheduled until 2025. One fan noticed that it was available for pre-sale on Amazon. In early 2023, the former Counting On star released her book, Becoming Free Indeed. She talked about her upbringing in the Duggar family. Juggling also appeared in the Amazon Prime docuseries entitled Shiny Happy People, Duggar Family Secrets. Does she have more to share? Keep on reading to learn more. There are new details about Juggling Duggar's new book. The supposed new book is titled People Please: Breaking Free from the Burden of Imaginary Expectations. This one is different from the last, in which she talks about being a chronic people pleaser. She also shows readers how to end this toxic pattern. The book is scheduled for release in 2025. One fan took to Reddit to share the details of Juggar's new book. They admitted they were snooping around at the different books she published on Amazon. This new one came as a surprise, since she never announced it on social media. Juggar will likely announce this book later this year on all of her platforms. Fans took to the Reddit thread to snark at the former TLC star. One dubbed her as a Jeremy pleaser, referring to her husband Jeremy Vuolo. Others noted that Juggling Duggar is still a people pleaser when it comes to the Duggars. She shocked fans when she spent the holidays with them. The news of her new book brought up an interesting discussion in the thread. Some fans speculated whether the former reality star is still a people pleaser. What's true is that she developed people-pleasing due to her strict Christian upbringing. Wow, if this is true, it's pretty interesting. I'm sure Juggar won't touch on the fact that her people-pleasing is probably a result of religious guilt, abusive parents, and exploitation. But we can hope, one fan noted. Other fans argued they wouldn't take advice from Juggling Duggar. They don't believe that she's broken away from her people-pleasing ways. Fans would trust her more if she addressed her traumatic upbringing and abusive parents, even if she's in therapy. Juggar was criticized for not diving deep into her toxic faith and childhood. What are your thoughts on Juggling Duggar's new book? Juggling Duggar recalls recreating major relationship milestone with Jeremy Vuolo for TLC cameras. Juggling Duggar grew up in front of the camera on 19 Kids and Counting, but the process began to change with her now husband, Jeremy Vuolo, in the mix. Early days, first meals together, making small talk, the process of getting to know someone can feel a little awkward. But I would say that there's probably not an adequate word for describing the unique kind of awkward it is to go through that whole process with cameras shoved in your faces and someone interrupting you when the conversation is just starting to flow. Juggar, 31, wrote in her latest book, People Pleaser: Breaking Free from the Burden of Imaginary Expectations, out Tuesday, January 14. Juggar referred to filming with her husband as date night on demand, remembering being instructed to repeat some of the same conversation and gestures they'd made in a previous take. Fast forward a few months, and I found myself walking down the staircase in my house toward Jeremy, anticipating that we might be about to make our relationship official. I took each stair carefully, smiling at Jer, butterflies in my stomach, excited to hear what he would say to me when I got to the bottom of the stairs, she continued. Cut. Juggar, go back up the stairs, please. We need to start over to get the shot. Ok. Reflecting on her people-pleasing tendencies, Juggar recalled dutifully walking back up the stairs and meeting Jeremy again. He asked me to be his girlfriend, the sweetest moment, she wrote. And then we got to do it all over again because there was a mic issue. And then we had to do some more takes. And then we had to do cutaways. Juggar first appeared on TV with her family in a 2004 documentary about their daily lives. 19 Kids and Counting debuted on TLC in 2008 and aired until its 2015 cancellation. A spin-off titled Counting On, which focused on Juggar and her sisters Jill and Jessa Duggar, premiered later that year and was cancelled in 2021. Jeremy entered the picture in 2015 when he met Juggar during a mission trip. The couple tied the knot 1 year later and shared daughters Felicity, 6, and Evangeline, 4. Jinger announced in October 2024 that she and Jeremy are expecting their third baby. In her book, Jinger confessed that managing the performance expectations of producers and the camera crew felt totally normal for her. "It was all I had known since the age of 10, she explained. For Jeremy, for some of my other brothers-in-law who had joined the family by this point, it was anything but. Earlier in People Pleaser, Jinger credited her husband for helping change her mindset when it comes to her faith. Jinger's parents, Jim Bob and Michelle Duggar, raised their children under the conservative beliefs of the Institute in Basic Life Principles, but Jeremy gave his now wife a new perspective. According to Jinger, meeting Jeremy was like a breath of fresh air, but it was also kind of terrifying, she wrote. He was so handsome and so fun and so alive, Jinger continued. Because I was so steeped in the IBLP way of looking at things. I thought it was a potential step into sin to even acknowledge that I was attracted to Jeremy, that I felt my heart tugged in his direction. And once we fell in love, the vibrancy of Jeremy's outlook, faith, and devotion began to crack open a wider world of mercy and grace to me.